Welcome, my friends. This is Maniacal Incorporated, and today we continue on with the attempts to convert Ireland to Insular Christianity, the last bastion of Chalcedonian Christianity is about to go in the northeast of the country. Leinster is still holding on. It's also the last area that hasn't been incorporated into the Kingdom of Ireland, and we could start looking at conducting missions abroad. However, for that we're going to need some more money. And as an early medieval Irishman, there's only one way that I know of getting more money, and that is to start raiding. Our forces have been risen in two separate armies, and we could go in here into Strathclyde, but they're actually stronger than either of the two armies individually. What I might do is I might keep them split for a while and bring them down in this direction. We have an opportunity to dedicate a new dynasty legacy. I started going down the route of warfare, and House of Warriors has been tremendously beneficial to us, but I think I will continue down this route and go for 10% of primary skill from councillors belonging to your house, so our ruler will gain that. And Strathclyde has actually just raised its army and marched them north, so that could very well be an opportunity for us to cause some damage down in this direction and then swing the army northwards. And unfortunately, that's exactly what I will have to do, because a tremendous amount of this region has already been sieged down. Pangerbone, undoubtedly one of the greatest private detectives in the kingdom, has discovered that our vassal and distant relative, Murcarthuk in Ulla, committed a murder. To think he was hiding such a thing. So we have now learned of Chieftain Murcarthuk's murder secret. Thank you very much, Detective Pangerbone. Our wife Beatrice has given us another child, another daughter. We could go with Eugenia. Bridget, may you grow to be strong and wise, my daughter. Should have named her Pangerbone. As the renown of my dynasty grows, familiarity with the glorious Caith Cathach sigil spreads too. My family's device is now recognised in the regional circles of nobility, counted highly amongst the prominent Gaelic bloodlines, as it should be. So the banner has now become a masterwork. Prestige 0.15, Renown 0.08, and we get a bit of a vassal tax contribution increase. Well now, this entire region has just split apart as I was raiding it. I hope I didn't do that. So we had a tiny battle in Annadale. The Battle of Annadale ended in an astounding victory. They had like 100 troops. I eagerly listen to the messengers. He reads the report from my commander, High Chieftain Alil. Alil, behave yourself. And then turns to the soldiers before me. My lord, we cornered the remaining enemies as they made a valiant stand. They gave their lives protecting this banner. So our walls are already covered in various different things. And this isn't really much good, even though levy reinforcement rate plus 5% is not the worst. We could add it to our collection and lose 75 prestige, or destroy it. Do you know what? We'll destroy it. So we use that banner as a bit of a birthday bonfire for our son and heir, Diarmid. Has taken to the study of diplomatic relations. They grow up so fast. That's not the worst in terms of diplomacy, and we have also gotten ourselves a new lifestyle perk. And Gormla's died. Disappeared without a trace. What a birthday you had. We'll start with the stewardship lifestyle. Cutting cornerstones. I don't think we've anything left to build, but we're heading for centralization. And here we have High Chieftain Nadfrioch the Evil. The new High Chieftain of Munster, inherited from his niece. who I was hoping to romance and marry. What we're going to have to do at some stage now is try and revoke Ivonia, give that to Alil in Connacht, and then revoke Oriel and give that to murderous Mercarthach in Alloch. And then, do you know what? Everything will be sorted out in terms of borders. So I've just bought the forces back with 62 and 34 gold. We're going to march on the Isle of Man. We don't have a lot of other good choices after that, barring maybe Leinster. I think Leinster and Ossory are still fighting a series of wars. Not too sure what's going on here exactly. And one of our alliances is gone. And indeed, Ossory is actually moving in against our forces as it tries to get away from Leinster's troops. So here is our new brother-in-law, and he will not negotiate an alliance. I married a random courtier who I took in a siege. They had high learning, so I just organized a marriage for them, and look where that has put us. So yeah, losing these alliances is fairly hefty at this stage, because it's fairly difficult to organize new marriages. And Mercarthach, murderous Mercarthach, has died. So he has been replaced by his 10-year-old son, Abner, another member of the Enail dynasty, and we now have to find a replacement for him as our steward. And it actually looks like it's going to be the dude that I recruited. Look at this for learning. Wise man, novice physician. And also has the traveler trait. I'm actually keeping our physician in place, who is the novice physician and has the herbalist trait. So I hired him for the physician role. He's a 22 to her 17, but you know what? We'll leave her in place at the moment, and he can become our steward instead. And speaking of our physicians, here she is, and she's being put to the test with our daughter Talthu. Pneumonia. Be cautious. Do no more than what is necessary. And she gets reduced symptoms, so it was a good idea to keep her in place. Our new steward tells us that he is interested in the education of our son, and that he could teach him how to speak Brythonic. Ha! Who needs to speak anything but Goidelic? The armies have returned home. We've a good chunk of money to our name, probably the most the kingdom has ever had. However, missions are expensive, so we're going to have to hold on for a while. And we're still maybe 3 years out from getting raiding vessels. What we're going to do instead is take the opportunity to hold a court. So here's a rather awkward one. One of our champions, Voher, bows before me. His trusty axe glinting at his side. He wants land. I have 1 holding, so we'd be giving him Mayo. If it was any other title, well, if it was Oriel, that would be helpful. So no, we're not going to give him Mayo. We could force him to duel Alil. Or, I do not appreciate your tone, champion. I'm going to go with this one. It's a bit of a pity. He's fairly solid in prowess. The major worry, he's going to leave the court. I presume his wife and our physician is going to leave with him. Doesn't look likely at the moment. And of course, he was also our executioner because he said mean things about us on a journey at one stage, and we arrested him. My courtier and antiquarian, Sheila, approaches me with a spring in her step. She wants to put our artifacts on display. That is a fantastic idea. Historically, at this time period, monasteries and ecclesiastic establishments would have taken holy relics on tour into other parts of the country, and there would have been fees paid, which would have been divided between the monastery and the ruler of the region that the monastery was based in. So this is a fantastic idea. I want people to pay to witness but a glimpse of my glory. We will get monthly income and court grandeur bonus of +1. One of my guards approaches with my courtier Thofla in chains trailing behind him. She was sending sensitive information to foreign spies. She has loverpox. She's rakish. She's a bit of a devil. And of course this man is wrathful and deceitful. Off with her head. It is an act of tyranny, however. As the last petitioner's head rolls out the door, various courtiers run screaming out of the room, having business to attend elsewhere. Soon the ceremonial formality of the proceedings has dropped away entirely. The blood has been cleaned off the floor, and the hum and bustle of normal courtly life takes its place. Now, wasn't it a good thing that we executed Thofla, because here is the region that she was handing information over to, and they have begun to raid the Outer Hebrides. We're going to see if we can get our forces recruited in the Outer Hebrides. Chances are even. They're trying to get their forces out. They've actually just finished that siege, or else they haven't finished it and they were trying to withdraw. We have managed to kill one of their family members. Taltu has recovered from pneumonia. That's great. That's mighty. That's brilliant news. Delighted with that. That's another one of them dead. And we got 61 quid. Oh, not too shabby. To the impressive King Diarmid of Ireland. No, it is you, 2-year-old child, who is impressive, considering that you are writing a letter to us. So this 2-year-old baba wants to become friends with a 44-year-old drunk. You and I should be friends, not foes. He's going to give us 75 quid and a truce for 15 years with the Inner Hebrides. I'm going to accept that. And we are going to set about attempting to convert that region and convert its ruler at some stage. High Chieftain Alach of Connacht is becoming more and more accepting of our rule. He is one of our minority vassals because he is still a Gaelic pagan. I'm going to start a scheme to sway him and see if I can use that to demand his conversion. He's currently defending against probably one of his brothers in Galloway. I'd say he should be okay. And in the midst of a war, we pay a visit to his castle. We're going to stay for a while. And we should also take a look at our own traits. We're up to 30 learning now. 15 intrigue and 14 stewardship as a result of the 10% increase that we're getting from the dynasty legacy that we picked. We find a ton of books around the place. We could help out in the dining hall. We'll tidy up the books because we have the scholar trait. So that's available to us because we're a scholar. So we have those in some semblance of order. We could help with a stewardship challenge. 73% chance of success. And that looks to have gone well. There is a chest of unguarded gold. 37%, that's maybe a bit high. So I think we're going to go to bed. And while we're in his castle, we consider writing him a letter. We could comment on his youthful vigor. I'm going to go with strength of arm. He has 15 martial and 22 prowess. So strong. I spot High Chieftain Alil by the entrance, waiting to see me off in the morning. He seems to be delighted with us, and we gain 10 opinion with him. And there you go. We complimented his muscles. He's delighted. Praise Saint Breed, Beatrice has given birth to a perfect little son. Fergus, may you grow to be strong and wise. Now, I'm not at war with the Outer Hebrides, but I think they're in conflict with somebody. They are indeed. They are attacking Connacht. Bad, baby. Bad. Well, 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 look at this divil. Ned Freoch attempting to fabricate hooks on my court. The only reason that he still has Evonia is because if I tried to take it off of him, it would be an act of tyranny. Ned Freoch, you divil. And of course he was able to make that attempt as a result of the fact that he is our spy master. We have nobody else that is anywhere near him in terms of intrigue. He does like us. He's blocked now for 5 years from attempting that again, and of course he's 50, so he is shoving up in years. His brother died at 51, I think. I don't want to put him finding secrets in his own area because I think it would be silly if Ned Freoch has revealed that Ned Freoch is doing bold things. So he's going to stay there for a while. The devil. I don't think we've anyone else that could actually take up a better position. It's probably best to leave him there in as Marshal. Looks like, unfortunately, we have the best. We have the best of the best. And the best aren't all that great. Nice. Pangerbone the Gift Giver. 2 quid. Pangerbone has revealed a murder and given us 2 quid. This is undoubtedly the greatest knight in the kingdom. Our steward has finished increasing the development in Desmond. And so, Ireland enters a new era of technological advancement. We have discovered raiding vessels. I mean, we always had raiding vessels, we always had boats, we just didn't realize we could use them for raiding. Fishing, that's all we thought you could use them for. Now, we are currently exposed to animal husbandry, and if we were to focus on that, that would be 10 years. So I suppose that's what we're going to go with. We still haven't figured out currency. No. Not having that. Cows. Is that what you mean? Cows? And merchant outposts. So we'll probably continue on with animal husbandry. 10 years we'll get it done. But yeah, it's not really of much use to us. But everything else is going to take a while. And what a great and glorious day this is as we raise our raiders. We'll send them out to see what they can see. And unfortunately, that's not much at the moment. So we are now in a position to hit regions that we would have to have marched all the ways down through here. But we are seeing, well, there you go, there's actually a chunk of loot. We're seeing a lot of these places are raided down. I think we're probably going to hit here. So we'll hit Inishmaan and then down and around this direction. And so for the first time, Irish troops get onto a ship and get off of it again. Well, there you go. That's what we've been focusing on for the last God only knows how many decades. This drunk lunatic has finally figured it out. How to get on a ship and get off. We'd sorted out with a couple of years the getting on. We just couldn't figure out how to get off of the ship, and hundreds of Irish have died on ships that they just couldn't figure out how to get off of. Professional workforce building construction time. This is the bit of an issue now. This entire route isn't tremendously beneficial, but I would still like to go for centralization. I won't say it's not beneficial. These two are just for constructing buildings, which we can't do, and we're not in a position to advance any technology at the moment that will get new buildings for us. Yes, I could conquer more land. We're going to go for centralization and see just how developed we can make Tara. We have taken a prisoner. These lads did not expect the Irish to come out of the sea. We have failed in our attempts to sway Alil. And you know what? We might as well continue all the ways down the coast. We haven't managed to take Oriel and return it to Alec, or to the control of Alec, and create the Duchy of Ulster. But the ruler there is holding a wrestling tournament. All of our troops have been raised and are raiding down the coast. You waited for this, didn't you? Waiting decades for me to figure out how to get on and off ships to hold this when all of my troops were gone. Go on, we'll give a call up to you. Well, I'll check first of all, actually, because I didn't see this. The duel contest. That sounds interesting, and also like something a 44-year-old drunk with no army available to him should accept. We'll go this way. Well, this is fantastic. We can actually get rid of all of our travel option costs, and we can just head on up through the plains. Nice and simple. So, off we go. The champion of the serpent and I. Actually, that's not the champion of the serpent. That is Conmol, the son of the champion of the serpent, and the new successor. So if his father, who inherited the title from his father, if anything happens to Dungol, then Conmol will take the title. And here is Conmol II. Yeah, we'll probably make you champion of the serpent as well someday. So we arrive in Ordvaka. I was about to say, Ahrin Kirog Ella. One beetle recognizes another, one drunkard recognizes another. You could see it in her face. Where are you keeping the good stuff? Woman, where are you keeping the good stuff? So I won't lie, I'm a bit surprised with this. We are currently guaranteed to qualify, and we're doing quite well. So possibly, instead of going to the pub, we should shape up and actually think about winning this thing. We might win this. Who knew that we could be a board game and wrestling master? So we could go to the tent to meet the other contestants and sabotage them. Do you know what? We'll do a bit of wrestling. Squires laugh and joke while they polish helms and mail. One of them snorts so hard it sounds like a pig, and the rest soon imitate him. Their champions loiter nearby. So we spot the counselor of... You raided us, and we executed somebody who was giving you information, you divil. His deeds have not gone unnoticed. I think we gave him that lovely mask, that wrestling mask. I think we gave him that. I could convince him to join my own council. The poor lad has pretty solid stats. Wouldn't know diplomacy if it hit him in the face. 16 prowess. He's a winter soldier. One-legged, disfigured. Like I said, I think we did that. And has gone fairly far along the foot Hastelauder rank. Do you know what? I forget what this one was. A more prestigious life awaits you in my court. There you go, 94% chance, and he's joined us. For too long, Wales believed itself to be safe, that Irish forces would never be able to cross the Irish Sea, and that they wouldn't be able to make it down from the north of England. I captured this woman in a siege. Here is the guy that we just recruited. He has converted to insularism. I have forced her to convert to insularism and recruited her to court. And I'm going to send this proposal to see if it will do anything to the piety score. Okay, so it hasn't. So, as long as they are both insular, that's going to be tough. Finding insular candidates for marriage. The wrestling contest begins. The qualifiers have come to an end, and it's clear who will be put forward for the quarterfinals. The varied pitches and volumes of the crowd's cheers leave no question as to the favourites. Is it me? So I'm being put up against the Chieftain of Ormond, Baldivino. Wait, is that Bald Ovino? Ovino still isn't a very Irish name. The Evino. Let's put down a bet. We have the money. So this lad is the underdog. I thought he was the hot favourite, but he's the underdog. That makes sense. Lose 5, gain 45. He's ill, so he's in bed. So they're gonna bring the bed into the ring, and they're gonna be swinging the bed around and hitting the other wrestlers accidentally. It's gonna be one of those kind of skit wrestling matches. We'll just bet ourselves. We're also actually fighting against the guy that we just recruited. So we might very well be demanding that he resigns. Baldivino lands on me hard as his grapple sends me toppling to the ground. Immediately, we both begin struggling for a better position. So half blinded by the dirt, I can feel air, then the rough coarse fabric of wrestling clothing, then suddenly a buttock cleft. If I don't do something soon, this bout is as good as lost. And so my thumb unfurls from its fist. We actually become stressful if we don't shove our thumb up this lad's. All's fair in love and wrestling. So we're now a dirty drunk. Oh no, we were the drunk and now we're the dirty. The crowd bays for blood as I stagger forward to confront my opponent again. I cuff away a red rivulet from my forehead. Jesus, that thumb went deep. And consider the fight so far amusing about when a member of the crowd gave me some unexpected assistance. So it's a prowess challenge, and our prowess seems to be absolutely terrible. There's a 37% chance that we're going to see a decrease in our chances of succeeding. Diplomacy and intrigue. Prowess and martial. We'll go with prowess and martial. Did we win? Oh no! Ragged breathing from both of us fills the air as we scramble to take each other down. Baldivino suddenly catches me off guard. As I try in vain to gain purchase, he throws me forcefully, sending me tumbling out of the ring into the dirt. The judges call an end. I have lost. This is absolutely terrible. I lost. I shoved my thumb up this man's... Confounded. So the good news at the very least is our new vassal has made it to the semi-finals. The Chieftain of Ormond. House Pio, the great Irish House of Pio. Well, god damn it all to hell anyway. And Baldivino has made it through to the final. This lad's on a roll. Damn and blast him to hell. Well, then again, with prowess like that, I suppose it's to be expected. The absolute devil. And here is... Okay. You beat up a 17-year-old. Okay, well, fair play to you. Lad, look, you know, well done. No, well done. Good job for trying. Good job for trying. Fair play. Your regent, the Bishop of Gwynedd, sent you into battle. Do you know what? It's probably better to be where you are now, because if I am right, yeah, we just basically raided all the ways through his land. So what a grudge match this is turning into. The wrestling semi-finals are over, and our new champion, Gareth, has an opportunity to get revenge on the House of Ovino. These bold devils. Oh my god, the suspense. Yes, victory. Punch that devil in the stomach. It was closely fought, but in the end, Gareth decisively knocked Baldovino to the ground. This means that Gareth has won the wrestling contest, which means that I have won the wrestling contest in reality. As his manager, standing at the ring with an urn. So after many trials and tribulations, Gareth has won. I must put in more effort next time, or at least stop drinking before the wrestling tournament. It helps with the board games, but not so much with the wrestling. So we lost a fiver. Gareth gained 15 quid. Did I not get anything as his aid? Accomplished grappler, huge health boost. And Baldovino becomes a wrestler, and everyone becomes a wrestler. And I became dirty. So there you go, what a great occasion. She's not happy. She's not happy. Yeah. She saw what we did. She can smell what we did as well, I think. What a great occasion. Our forces continue their operations in this region. I'm trying to get them in here. We've just been told that our nephew has been slain in battle. So I'm trying to see exactly who this is. There is Coitlin of Gari. So one of her sons has been killed. There's a tremendous amount of argy-bargy going on over here as well. Leinster is basically in a perpetual civil war between the two sisters. Our nieces, the daughters of Scahach, and that fool that should have accepted vassalization. So now that we can raid, we've kind of totally forgotten about our attempts to unify Ireland or spread Insular Christianity. Thank God I can go inside and finally wash my hands. King Diarmid, the dirty of Ireland, you fight as filthy as you look. And that is a filthy looking man. We're continuing to cause bedlam and anarchy over in this region. There was a lot more money here a few moments ago. And then the whole thing split apart. So I was going to continue over. I think this had 15 and now it's just dropped to 4 out of nowhere. Will we head in this direction? We'll head to here first of all. We're going to lose 100. We're grand. And you know what? We're not too far. Oh, Pangerbone, what have you done now? Here is Owen, the son of Murciarthuk, who's just about to come of age. And Pangerbone has left him a little gift. Covered all his clothes in piss. Look, he's just a cat, man. He's just a cat. I have a feeling that he's going to start causing us trouble. He's going to start demanding court position soon enough. So, do you know what? And he looks useless, so... And Voher, the poor man, has died. Do you know what? You made a lot of problems for yourself. You made a lot of problems for yourself. As we travel around Tara, we see a makeshift-looking stall by the side of the track. Somebody is selling handmade crosses. We have an opportunity to gain a small religious carving artifact. 60%. We'll pay 50 quid for that. We have a lot of money coming in. And we did indeed. There you go. A small religious carving. Plus 0.1 piety per month. Not too shabby. And God knows we need the piety with the way some marriages have gone of recent, knocking that figure down. Now, what I was saying there before Pangerbone pissed all over the place was we're actually not too far away from Sussex, and that's what I've done, is gone into Sussex. Lots of people picking up Latin, fantastic. So we've hit Sussex. 34 loot, and I think we're going to call it a day. Then we could head across in this direction, but there are some hefty armies. So I think we're going to call it a day with a tremendous... There's 30 more gold to go on top of that. A tremendous amount of gold from our first day out on the ocean seas. And to really rub salt in the wounds, what we're going to do is we're going to bring the forces ashore in Ormond. We're going to parade through Ormond with all our money. After the devil he's after putting on a hat after he lost to Gareth. Leinster has been fighting a constant series of internal wars. Enya has been fighting against her sister Ovluk. She's on the verge of victory, at tremendous cost, however, and here is the alliance that she has formed with a distant cousin. So the AI has prioritized maintaining the Hinchlig name in power here. This guy has no alliances. She has nothing. We'll probably wrap up Leinster in the next episode. I don't think that we're going to be able to demand that they accept vassalization. What I want to do with the big heap of money that we have put together is... Where's it gone to? Now, unfortunately, we have a bit of an issue, which is that I wanted to take the send missionaries decision, and I clicked on never mind because I actually wanted to make a couple of changes first of all, and now I'm not actually in a position to take it again until 535, so 5 more years. It's entirely possible that we're not going to see any Irish missions or missionaries spreading. Our court tutor has just died, so I'm still not entirely too sure how the actual missions in this game work in their attempts to spread insularism, but it's not something that's going to be happening for a couple of years. He should be alive by then, his health is fine. The pageantry of the court continues. A deep, insistent desire to call for my wine and lose myself in it slowly builds. Somebody shows concern for us. We could lose stress that we don't have, so I'm actually going to, instead of spending court grandeur, my apologies, what were you saying? We will gain some stress. So we have failed in our attempts to host a mission and send it out to convert somewhere else in the world to insularism. What we will instead start doing is demanding the conversion of our vassals. Here is Alil II. I'm trying to sway him. It's not going great, but he's at plus 20 opinion. 94% chance that he will accept a conversion demand. And he has decided to follow us into the light of insularism after his grandfather sacrificed the Archbishop of Armagh. We have finally made amendments to God. Blessed be God. And now that he and his family have converted, to prevent us from getting any more piety deficits, I will actually organise a marriage between our son and heir Diarmid and his eldest daughter, Ban Ulla. And we now have an alliance. What a change in affairs this has been. And so with that, the last great outpost on the island is now Leinster. The last great holdout is Leinster. And here is Dungol, Master of the Hunt. And what's after happening here? Con Mole has succeeded. Was Dungol his father? It was. So Dungol Mac Doi. I didn't expect him. I suppose 58. The poor old man. That's an advanced age for this time. And so, Con Mole has inherited the position Champion of the Serpent. We'll have to try and organise a marriage for him as well and try and keep that title going. So we've been told that Dungol's son, now that he has become the new Champion of the Serpent, that the title has decreased in its acclaim, and only time will tell if that acclaim will return. Well, we will give him the first opportunity to prove his worth, an archery tournament in Dunbar. And for once, the army isn't raised enough fighting in various different places. We do have a few dangerous looking places to go through, so I will, including Dunbar itself, so I will hire mercenary guards, and you know what? That takes most of the hassle out of it. We could go for a forest guide for the extra 6 quid, considering we can't spend it on missions for a while. Do you know what? That'll do. 39 quid to go to Dunbar for an archery tournament and see if the champion of the Serpent can restore the glory to the title held by his father and grandfather before him. Thank you for joining me on this episode, and I hope you'll join me on the next one. Get your bows ready, because you're taking part in the archery tournament as well.